So hey everyone, this is the Hindu Sunday, June 26, 2022 Science and Technology page, right? So this is a separate video for today's newspaper analysis, and we'll analyze and understand, try to understand each and every news item here. Okay, so without delay, let's move. So the first news is, let's do the snapshot first. Rising hope, an isolated population of 27 polar bears has been discovered in southeast Greenland. Okay, south and east Greenland. You know where is Greenland? This is your America, okay, and this is your Europe. So here is your Greenland. So south and east, so this side. Okay, now you understand this is a latitude of taiga, and these latitudes are of tundra. And you know what is tundra? Polar, what's that? Ice cap, ice ridden type of thing, right? And taiga, ice or snow for limited time of year. So this is the basic geography behind it. Now let's see in this context, which is free of sea ice for most part of the year, right? Okay, then only some limited part of the year there is ice in this region, right? And we are seeing that polar bear are found here also now. Polar bear typically need sea ice to survive, so the discovery is raising hope that some polar bear might have survived in absence of ice. They have adapted to hunting on glacier avalanche. Fine. Tracking bugs. The DNA of more than 1200 species of invertebrates were found on sample of tea and dried herb. The traces of environmental DNA which organisms shed as they walk across, chew, or on otherwise interacted with leaves can help to understand how insect population have changed. Okay, so what is this concept? This concept is of environmental DNA. What happens when a person, let's say there is a person, right? He has hairs, he has nails, okay, here also nails, he has this whole skin kind of a thing, okay, right? So hair can fall, nails can break and then fall, skin shed, cells, and all other etc. These are what? These will always contain DNA, and these DNA are collected right, to analyze. This is what is done. Okay, now there is a mouth, then saliva DNA. Saliva will be saliva. This will also have its own have a DNA, right? So collect to analyze. So this DNA is called environmental DNA. Okay, you understand this concept? Fine. Let's see what else is there. COP15 in Canada has announced that pivotal summit to finalize new global agreement on protecting the environment will go ahead in December this year after 2-year delay due to COVID-19 pandemic. The 15th Conference on Party of United Nations (CBD), it is Convention on Biological Diversity, will move from China to Montreal. Okay, so CBD is there in Canada. Note this thing. This is a probable prelims question, right? So the next one is gentler sonar. Scientists at Defense Advanced Research Project Agency in USA are working to replace whale harming sonar with the ambient sound made by aquatic creature. The low frequency booms of giant golith groupers and super loud snaps of pistol shrimp are among the sound being considered. Okay, so you know this functioning of sonar, how it functions. Now this is your sea level, right? Let us consider this sea level, and this is your sea base. Okay, something like this. So there is a ship out there, okay, and if this is the ship, this is equipped with this, okay, transmitter and receiver. What will happen? It will send these sonar waves down here, they will get reflected, okay, and it will be caught by the receiver. Okay, so this is the concept. So what happens is that this goes like this and comes like this. So this is the, say this is D, then this is also D. So distance becomes 2D, and the velocity of wave v is known, right? So and time is calculated, or calculated means not calculated, observed. So then what will happen? Let it be t, then 2D will be v by t. That implies d is equals to v by 2t. This is the concept of sonar, and this is how the depth is analyzed. Let me better write it, depth. Okay, depth at that point. No, distance, it is distance only, and let me write depth equals to d. You understand the concept now? But what happens is, see, there are other organisms in the water also. These are fishes. There are fishes there out there, right? There are big fishes, sharks. Okay, this is a shark, or there are whales. It looks more like whale than shark. Okay, and there is this humpback also, right? There is this whale mostly, okay, whale and shark and all those things. Now what happens? These waves, they also communicate to one another through waves. Okay, so what happens? These waves interference takes place. and this interference leads to what? Misguiding of these marine creatures, right? So this is the problem. So to reduce the interference, what is being done? Different kind of low burst intensity, low intensity sonar system will be used. You understand it now? So that there is no interference and there is no misguidance to this marine creature. You see, often we have these videos coming over internet where where this is, say, this is the, it is like this. So this is the ocean, right? And we have whale and other big fishes here on this section, right? How this whale came over the land? It cannot travel on land. What happened is it was misguided. It came here. At that time, what was there? There was this high sea, high tide. So it was near to this surface where it got stuck. After that time, the high sea became low sea. Okay, tides got over and it came in contact of direct air. It cannot breathe. It died. So this is how it goes. Okay. So done this thing. Let's see this, if anything smaller. Okay, this seems to be small. Typhoid, related to typhoid, right? As typhi is more drug resistance. Then what is this drug resistance thing? Let me explain you. Drug resistance. Okay, now there is a drug, and drug does what? It harms / kills, say, the pathogen. Okay, we are talking about typhoid. So the pathogen is bacteria. As typhi, it is talking about, right, bacteria. So the drug will kill bacteria. But what happens with unregulated use of drugs? What will it lead to? It will lead to bacterias, which is the pathogen, right, getting what? Getting not adapting to these drugs. Okay, and this will lead to drug resistance. Now you understand it, which means what? This drug, say the drug is XYZ. Now that means XYZ became ineffective against such bacteria, right? Now with this context, you read this. Okay, as typhi is more drug resistance, means there are other variants of this typhoid causing pathogens, but among them, as typhi, I mean I think it's Salmonella typhi, right, is more drug resistance. Let's see. The antibiotic resistance of bacteria has spread globally nearly 200 times. You see, antibiotic resistance. Why it is there? Because of uncontrolled, irrelevant, okay, unmindful use of these, unregulated use of these antibiotics, right? Bacteria causing typhoid fever is becoming increasingly resistant to some of the most important antibiotics for human health, according to a study. The largest genome analysis, Salmonella typhi, I said na, it is Salmonella typhi, also shows that resistant strain, almost all originating in South Asia, have spread to other countries. The researchers noted that typhoid fever is global public health concern, causing 11 million infection and more than 1 lakh death per year. Now this is the data you must know. 11 million infection. You understand? 110 lakh infections, 1.1 crore infection a year, and more than 1 lakh death per year. Antibiotic can be used successfully to treat typhoid fever infection, but their effectiveness is threatened by the emergency of resistance. The speed at which the highly resistant, strains of S. typhi has emerged and spread in recent years is a real cause of concern and highlights the need to urgently expand the prevention measures, particularly in countries at greatest risk, said the study. Okay, at the same time, the fact that resistant strains of S. typhi has spread internationally so many times also underscores the need to view typhoid control and antibiotic resistance more generally as global rather than local problem, Mr. Andrews said. Okay, in the new study, the researchers performed whole genome sequencing on about 3,500 S. typhi isolated observed from blood samples, and all those things are there. This is not required. The author traced the presence of gene confirming resistance of macrolides and quinolones, which are among most critically important antibiotics. Okay, so macrolides and quinolones, which are among the most critically important antibiotics for human health. The analysis shows the resistance of S. typhi strains have spread between countries. While these strains are more occurred in South Asia and Southeast Asia and Southern Africa, they have also been reported elsewhere. Right. So what is there? So S. typhi is showing more drug resistance. This is a matter of concern, because you see 1.1 crore people are infected and more than 1 lakh death per year. It is exactly, it should not be the case. So a regulated and better use of antibiotics is expected out of humankind, right? Mankind, humankind, whatever you say. Okay. Now let's see this one. This is a small one, I think. Okay, and what is this? Black Death. we'll also see that. I like this page very much. Fighting the type 2 diabetes. So there are two type of diabetes, right? I'll give you a hint about it. Look, I'm no doctor, so I cannot just go on to explain things, but I'll give you a hint. Diabetes, right? Type 1 and type 2. Okay, this is called diabetes mellitus. Okay, and it is acquired due to or acquired with age, say like this. Okay, and it is from birth. Just know this, right? You see, many children are diagnosed with diabetes, that their diabetes is type 1, and many adult, like most of the father and mother may have diabetes. I hope that yours do not have, but in general we see that in Indian population, most of the old age population, or the rather people who are tending to become old, are more or less infected with this diabetes, right? So this is type 2 diabetes, diabetes mellitus, and it is acquired with age. Why? Because pancreas what stops or reduces insulin production. Okay, why? Beta cells, right, they do not function properly. These things are there. This is more of a technical medicine kind of thing. I'm not going in detail. I don't know this much medicine. I'm not a medical graduate, right? So let's see. Rice eaters can include wheat, maize, and high protein grains and vegetable in their daily diet. Yes. Look, what happens is rice has increased sugar content, right? To digest, the person needs what? Insulin, but body is not producing insulin. So this leads to what? Therefore, increased sugar, or say blood sugar, and this leads to what? This is what is the this leads to many things, like increased what we say, sweating, decreased working capacity, right, etc. Okay, let's see. Types of diabetes. Type 1 is generally genetic in origin and is easier handled by taking molecular insulin. Injection of insulin helps your body to use sugar in your blood for energy. Okay. Type 2 diabetes, which does not need insulin injection, is largely lifestyle based and is seen more among people in urban areas than in rural population, obviously. Type 2 diabetes is age related, often develops at age of 45 and beyond. Type 1 diabetes is largely genetic in nature, while type 2 depends on lifestyle of individual. Pioneering research work from Madras MDRF has shown that type 2 diabetes, which does not always need external insulin, is largely lifestyle based and higher prevalence among urban population. Okay, the same thing it has written twice. Huge disease burden. Yes. And I forgot to tell you one thing, that this is diabetes is what? NCD, non-communicable disease. So largely, as it is written, lifestyle based. Okay, just know this thing. It is non-communicable disease, right? It cannot be communicated. Okay, largely based on okay, these things are there. Some ways to fight against or delay diabetes as a staple food. So how can we delay it? It is best consumed to high fiber diet with low carbohydrate intake. Okay, high fiber rice. While rice is staple food in many parts of South India, people in North are wheat eaters. Okay, wheat has high fiber content and all those things are there. And rice we use is white or polished with no husk or bran. It would thus be healthier for rice eater to include wheat in their food plus high protein grains, maize, carrots, cabbage, pulse, and vegetable in their daily diet. So what it is saying? Get your lifestyle good. Look, if you are eating at proper time, if you are properly exercising, right, whatever intake you take, if you are properly utilizing it, you will never have diabetes. This is the core principle to avoid diabetes, right? What this generation is doing, due to excess availability of food and leisure. Okay, this generation is the most scientifically ahead generation of human till date. Okay, so what it is doing, every kind of things we have more or less what we say, delegated it to machines, right? From washing of clothes to even walking, we have delegated it to machines. So what happens? Whatever we are intaking, it is not being utilized. It gets either what we say, it gets either stored in form of fat, or it creates which leads to creation of some kind of these problems, right? So what is required? The simple concept is, whatever you intake, have the capacity to make an out, take the energy out of it. If you are able to do that, none of these lifestyle disorder will be there for you. Okay. Now let's see. For non-vegetarian, eggs, fish, and mutton included in diet offer high fiber. Okay, preventable. Yes, it is preventable. The individual needs to lose a small amount of weight, eat healthy diet, reduce total carbon intake in the food, and do physical exercise regularly. Exercise is smarter, not longer. Consider high intensity exercise such as power walking for 10 minutes regularly, and do breathing exercise such as in meditation. Whatever I said, it is also written here. Indeed, our physiotherapists and Ayurvedic practitioners to advise deep breathing and regular exercise. What does this do? Deep breathing and regular exercise, what it will do? You try to understand. You have taken say 10 grams of protein and 10 grams of carbohydrate, and if you exercise, this carbohydrate are what? Actually the fuel of the body. So this fuel will be used. So if this fuel is used, then you won't have excess fuel in the body, and that won't lead to any kind of lifestyle disease. This is the main concept. Okay, when you are breathing heavily, then what happens? You are actually taking oxygen and taking in oxygen and throwing out carbon dioxide. Your cells are getting more oxygenated. They are more converting ADP to ATP, and thus more energy is being released. It happens in that way, right? Okay, 10 exercises it has given. Out of the 10, some are easily done without any need to go to gymnasium. The first exercise is to walk. Go for a brisk 30-minute walk 5 times a week, or even more often. Several diabetologists suggest that such brisk walking can be done even at home daily. Brisk walking is fast. You don't have to just walk. You have to give your intensity. You have to apply yourself in that thing, right? The second is cycling. Okay, cycling for 10 minutes a day is very beneficial. Okay. The third is weightlifting. Okay. After that, the list several exercises such as swimming, calisthenics. No, please, these old age people should not prefer calisthenics. Why I am saying this? Because it requires a very precise amount of your diet. After that, you have to go for these things without equipments. So if you are not done in your entire lifetime, please don't go for calisthenics. It is my suggestion, and so on. But we have listed only those which can be easily done by families at home. Yoga is very beneficial in any kind of these things. You have 10-12 asanas. Go to YouTube and search for this Baba Ramdev asana. They are actually helpful in these things, right? Okay, may lower oxidative stress, improve mood, sleep, and quality of life. It also reduces medication used in adults with diabetes too. Okay, do dhyan plus some yoga, very simple yoga like Kapalbhati, Bhramri, okay, Anulom Vilom, and all those things. You do these small things 15-20 minutes a day. Get to a brisk walk of about 30 minutes. You cannot even a person of about 25-30 years of age will not be even able to walk 30 minutes of brisk walking. It is that difficult for today's generation, right? So if you don't begin it today, trust me, you are going to be in danger, right? Now let's see the next one, this Black Death thing. Where this Black Death pandemic originated? Black Death is the biggest pandemic of our history caused by the bacterium Yersinia pestis and lasted in Europe. Okay, despite pandemic immense demographic and societal impact, its origin have long been elusive. Researchers have now obtained that studies ancient Y pestis genomes that trace the pandemic originated to Central Asia. Okay, the origin of second plague pandemic have long been debated. One of the most popular theories supported that its source is East Asia, okay, specifically in China. To the contrary, only so far available archaeological finding came from Central Asia close to Kyrgyzstan. An international team of researchers analyzed ancient DNA from human remains as well as historical and archaeological data from 2 sites that were found to contain pestilence inscription. The team pierced together complete ancient plague genomes from sites in Kyrgyzstan. We found that ancient strains from Kyrgyzstan are positioned exactly at the node of this massive diversification event. We found that Black Death source strain, as we know, is exact date. Okay. They also found that ancient caused the 1338-39 epidemic along this place must have come from plague reserves around the Tian Shan mountain, close to where the ancient strain was found. This point to an origin of Black Death ancestors in Central Asia, right? So you know this Black Death, Yersinia pestis, and in 14th century, it is mid of 14th century, right? So 2 more are left. Let's see. Aerosol study shows how SARS-CoV-2 spread. The researcher studies air sample from hospital and residential zones and proximity to an infected person. Okay, let's see what it has. Okay. The transmission of SARS-CoV-2 during air has been studied at various places around the world. The researchers, okay, through the air, okay. And Tata Bangalore carried out research to get further insights into transmission characteristics of novel coronavirus in air, in hospital setting and residential area and public places. The study, published in the Journal of Aerosol Science, give insights that are quite in keeping with the commonsensical notion of and underline the importance of mask in comparison with mere physical distancing. Gauging virulences, a machine which sucks in air similar to vacuum cleaner filtered with a filter on which gel was spread, taken to work, and all those things are there. Let me see what is important for the news now for the exam. Okay, first it has separate, not near proximity. Detected virus 20 to 25 feet away also. Okay, now I understand this. Look what it is saying. Oh, I have this page here, right? Look, let me change the pen color to say green. Okay, so or let me make it like this. It would be better to do it like this. Okay, this is the point of virus, right? So how do you see this virus contaminating the nearby space? Do you actually feel that it will be ending after some time, or do you feel some distance, or do you feel that it will remain equally good to large distances also? Okay, this is intensity of viral load, fine, and this is distance on both sides. For your understanding, I'm making this type of diagram, or else I don't have to make this type of diagram. This is a very systematic type of diagram, right? So this is where we have. So if we see, we'll have this thing, this kind of thing. Okay, obviously these two will be this 1 and 2 will be what, will be more or less same. Okay, it won't be different. I'm just freehand drawing it, therefore it looks a bit different. Let me try to make it same. Now it looks exactly the same, right? Okay, now it looks same. Now let's see, at this point, at this juncture, if we create this graph, it is a very statistical graph. It's not that I'm creating it by myself. No, these are datas. You'll always have this data if you have been an engineering graduate, or if you know a bit of statistics, or if you are a what we say, if you hold a degree in statistics or even in mathematics or something like this, you already know this inverted bell curve, right? And you know where I'm heading towards. Okay, so this region, right, this is a core region, okay, where you'll have a lot of infection. Okay, this is the core region of spread, right? Now I'll go for the other region. In this region, okay, this is the second region where you have some less but not much less. Okay, now we'll go to the third region, which will be like this. Okay, and then the fourth region, this region is basically the region of no contact. Okay, and in this region, say, we won't have anything available. Okay, very low possibility, right? So many varies, don't get confused. Okay, so then let's see now. This is, okay, this zone is what? If this is the infected person, then about 2 meters from here, this is the zone of most infection, and this is the zone of least infection. Okay, and these are the zone of, this is second spot, this is third spot, this is almost no infection. Okay, this is what it is saying, that even samples has been found even 2 to 3 feet, 20 to 25 feet away. Okay, so it is not that you won't have this sample here, you will also find samples here also, right? But very small samples that will be found here. Here very large. If say here we are finding 10,000 viral load, okay, 10,000 unit of viral load, then here we will find 1 unit of viral load, something like this. Okay, so this is what it is saying. You understand this concept? Okay, fine. If you have any problem, you give me a comment. I'll see what can be done, but I think you would have understood it. Every reinfection increases risk to the health. Obviously, the study highlights the importance of preventing reinfection with SARS-CoV-2. Okay, so reinfection should be prevented, right? Compared with vaccination, first infection of virus is associated with increased risk of adverse health outcome in pulmonary and extrapulmonary organ, hospitalization, even death, and reinfection contributes to additional risk of death and adverse outcomes in the pulmonary and several extrapulmonary organs system. The study found. So what has the study found? That you can see it like this. If I just make a diagram for you one more time. Oh, why am I not able to draw? Yes, now it's good. Okay, so let's see what happens. This is your normal health, right? So you were basically experiencing normal health condition till the point when at this point of time you got infected. Okay, so even that, in that condition also you will have for some time normal health, because this would be the what we say, gestation period kind of thing, gestation period of infection. It can range from 1 hour or 1 minute to tens of 10 years, right? For HIV it is also seen that after 10 years it shows its true colors. Okay, and then what happens, then your health started falling, and at this point of time you were hospitalized. Okay, hospitalized plus or medical care started. Okay, fine. Then what will happen, then after some time you will start to recover again. After this time you started what, you started to recover, and you were just recovering, then only what happened, you were reinfected. Then what will happen, your health will fall subject to 2-3 things. One is your medical aid available, okay, physical condition of body, and your mental strength. These 3 things are very important. You see that science won't be dealing much with this mental strength thing, but yes, it is very important in today's world, right? So you understand this. It can also go up like this after some time, or it can even sink more down. It depends on these things, right? Medical aid available. If you are again given medical aid at this point, then you may recover. But what had happened, you never reached your normal health. Why? Because this time frame is very small before reinfection, and even due to infection, what had happened, your body has suffered, which has rendered it weak, right? And if you are weak and you are again attacked, then what will happen, you become more weak. But if you have a very strong mental strength, then your body will respond to your command, right? If you have a very strong physical condition of a body, you have all those attributes of an athlete, and you are infected, then what, your body is capable of producing antibodies, and it will produce, right? And combination of these two, you are going to live for more than 10 more years at least. And medical aid available, it can help you to recover soon, but your total recovery will depend upon your mental strength and physical condition of the body, right? So it is therefore advised to exercise and do dhyan practices daily. Why? Because this will lead to your betterment of your overall health, right? You give it a rate. I don't think it is that important. It used to first give a, initially it used to do, look this data, it is going like that now. Now in both direction it would be like this only, that I made the diagram. Okay, today is a very good day. I think whatever I am saying, whatever I am making, it has already, it is being covered in the newspaper, right? So this is the thing. Okay, I hope you understand this science section also. It is very interesting today. So with this I am ending today's this analysis of science and technology page. I hope you like it. So before going, I will urge you to subscribe the channel, like, comment and share, okay, among your friends, family and all the person who requires it. Okay, why? Because there should be free education and free concept building and all those things for at least Indians in this free area, right? So with this note, I am ending today's analysis. Jai Hind. Cut.